What does make Miss Widner worthy of getting the vote for Teacher of the Year? You know what? What makes anybody worthy of getting the vote for Teacher of the Year? I have no idea. So I thought I'd do a little research. So what I did was I went around to some of the former Teachers of the Year here at Bowie High School. I asked them to give me one word, maybe a small description of one characteristic that they believe that sets them apart from other teachers that allowed them to get the Teacher of the Year vote. I then went and talked to some of Miss Widner's students to see what some of her characteristics are that they've seen in the classroom, to see if we could maybe match them up and figure out what one characteristic sets her apart and allowed her to win the vote against two very amazing, well-deserving candidates. Well, one real amazing, well-deserving candidate, Ann Garcia. Anyway, here's what I found out. So, Miss Floyd, what characteristic about you do you believe sets you apart that allowed you to win the Teacher of the Year award?
Well, that was a long time ago, but I'm pretty sure that year it was because I had, I think, a 99% pass rate on my AP test.
Let's just say hers were not 99%.
I'm a National Board Certified Teacher.
Dedication.
What's it like being in the Teacher of the Year's class this year?
It's pretty great.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah, so what sets her apart from other teachers?
Well, she gives lectures like that college professors would do, and that's something I haven't gotten from any other teacher around here.
What's the one thing you've learned from her?
Lots of history.
It's not one thing.
But it's one statement.
It's the one thing.
What's your favorite thing that you've learned from her class?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know either. There's so much to learn.
And it's all falling right out of your heads.
A little bit.
No, you just can't pick one. It's all up there.
I think the fact that I don't make my students work really helps, and I ask them to stuff the ballot box with my name in reward for extra credit.
What was your experience like in her class? What kind of teacher was she?
She was a teacher that put a lot of work in front of my desk, and that was enchanting and great.
Well, my initial impression of A Push class was it's definitely a tree killing class, because my sister had it 2 years ago, and she would come home with like packets and packets of terms lists and reading guides she had to fill out, and I was like, oh my god, I can't handle this.
Riley, is it true that Miss Widner gave extra credit if you voted for her for Teacher of the Year?
It wasn't that we voted for her. It wasn't just extra credit. She said she'd give us one free 100 on the final.
Passion.
What's it like having been in the Teacher of the Year's classroom this year?
You know what, Mr. Lauer, it was bad.
Really?
Yeah, it was bad. Miss Widner, she never smiled. She wasn't very supportive of us, and all she did was make us write essays.
Really?
Yeah.
Caffeine and a lot of sugar.
So, what about Miss Widner as a teacher? What were her classes like?
Well, I showed up late a couple of times, and I brought Starbucks, so she was kind of cool the first couple of times I did it, but then there was one day where she just hulked out on me. Like, I swear to God, she was turning green, and she was about to just eat me because I was late. I asked her if she wanted anything, and she said no. I offered.
One characteristic that I feel about myself to help me win the Teacher of the Year is that I'm like the great Maya Angelou. I am such a phenomenal woman. I'm dedicated, I love kids, and that's why I won Teacher of the Year.
What was your experience like with Miss Widner's A-Push class this year?
She was really great. She'd do this little dancing thing.
What? Do that again? That was her dance.
She would talk about her life and how she had to wait in a really long guest line. And
Yeah.
she was super sweet.
Yeah. Did you learn anything about history in her class?
No. I did learn how to do that.
But you did learn how to do that. Okay, good, good.
I truly like kids. Even the ones that make it difficult to like them, I still like them. I think they're funny. I think they're clever. I think even though they may drive me crazy, they're so much fun, and every single day is a brand new day, and I love my job.
So what was your experience in A-Push like?
Well, you know, it was a lot of fun. She was a great teacher. She cared a lot about what she was teaching. I wish she'd been a little nicer, though. She got a little mean sometimes.
Yeah?
Yeah. She kind of got physical with a couple of us when we weren't paying attention, when we weren't taking notes. She would, you know, harm us physically, and that wasn't very cool of her.
So you're saying she's stronger than she looks?
She's like the Incredible Hulk. Yeah. She doesn't know how to control her anger. It's a little scary sometimes.
Desks at kids. That just did not go very well.
She randomly threw desks at
yeah,
kids.
there were a couple of fatalities, but we're not really supposed to talk about that.
Is she even strong enough to pick up a desk?
You'd be surprised. She's stronger than you, apparently, though.
Wow, that's mean.
I think that I genuinely care about each one of my students, and I try to let them know from the first day of class that each of them is somebody very special to me. And in so doing, I think that forms a bond between the teacher and the student, and I think it allows me to get the best out of my students. I think if I have a trademark around here, it's that I take our really very good students, our top students, and make them better. And I think with any students, you can only do that if you form that bond of trust and mutual respect with your students. I try to work on that from day one, and I think in so doing, I get my students to push themselves a little harder than they might do otherwise to try to be their very best.
Making our best and brightest students even better. You know what? Miss Widner, in her A-Push classes, teaches some of our brightest students. I happened to go see just how she was preparing some of her students for the EOC just 1 week before they took the test. And I'll show you what I found.
Faith gives me strength, that's both. Strength to believe we're breaking through, soaring, flying. There's not a star in heaven that we can reach.
So I really haven't gotten anywhere. So my next idea was to go find the inaugural Teacher of the Year here at Bowie High School. When I went to his classroom, he wasn't there. He was probably out watering bushes, maybe he left early to go to Barton Springs. I don't know where he was. But there was a few kids in there, and they really didn't know much about Mr. Widner Teacher of the Year either. However, luck smiled upon me, and as I was doing my daily walk through the library reference section, I found 3 kids having an organic, non-scripted out conversation about the very thing I was trying to find information on. Let's see what they said.
Yo, guys, that goofy Mr. Lauer asked me the other day if I thought Mr. E deserved to be Teacher of the Year.
Oh man, I know, he asked me that too, but I don't think Mr. E was ever Teacher of the Year. Unless it was in the 60s or something. I mean, with like Kennedy, Civil Rights, Bonanza, Sound of Music, Disco, and all that old stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But Lauer brought me this picture, and it has a nameplate that says Mr. Ellerbrock, but the date's all blurred out.
Well, that can't be him. He's so good looking. I mean, look at all that hair, and he's wearing a tie.
Yo, guys, I think I can figure out this mystery. I went to a nursing home and saw this old guy. He used to know Mr. E. I think his name was Mr. Windy. He said that Mr. E was the first Teacher of the Year. But that was when there was like 10 teachers and 6 of them were coaches, so there wasn't much choice.
Well, no crap. Let's go tell Mr. Lauer.
I mean, yeah, how much longer do you think Mr. E's gonna live? I mean, he looks like a turtle plopped out of his shell.
Yeah, what is it, 3 o'clock? I don't know, maybe 6 months? Right? Let's dip. We got more important stuff to do.
So, I've talked with other teachers, I've talked with other students, and I still can't get a good answer as to what the one thing is that Miss Widner possesses that allowed her to win this vote. I guess there's only one thing left to do, and that is to go talk to the woman herself. Why do you think you got so many votes?
I'm adorable. I'm adorable. I'm adorable.
Well, there you have it. Apparently, the last 2 Teacher of the Year votes have been based purely on adorability. You know what? Maybe that's how Mr. Ellerbrock won the first Teacher of the Year vote. Nah.
And my first day of class, when I walked into Miss Widner's 8th period, I sit down and she comes in and she's all bubbly, and I was like, she looks like she's 25 years old, not gonna lie. And she was so happy to be in class, and it was the last period of the day, and it was the last period of meeting all my new teachers, and I was just like out of it, like, oh man, I want summer back. But then Miss Widner really just walked in and took charge and was like, hey, this is gonna be a push, this is gonna be what we're gonna be doing, and we're gonna have fun while we're doing it. And she carried that energy through for the entire year, and I just really appreciated that. I know I personally voted for her for Teacher of the Year, and I still hold with that vote because she is definitely one of the most enthusiastic, passionate teachers I've ever had, and she really loves what she's doing, which is important.
I'm adorable.